Lights up on the bustling ABC studios in New York City, where the iconic Hot Topics table gleams under the glare of studio spotlights on this brisk October afternoon in 2025, the air thick with the scent of fresh coffee and the hum of an audience primed for daytime drama. It's episode 28 of The View's 29th season, taped live before a packed house of 200 loyal fans decked out in Whoopi Goldberg tees and Joy's Joy mugs, their chatter a symphony of anticipation as the familiar theme blares of The View, where women get real. Whoopi, the unflappable oracle in her flowing caftan and signature shades, kicks off with a nod to the crew. "All right, ladies, we've got a legend in the house today, let's make it golden." Beside her, Sunny Hostin, sharp as ever in emerald green, scrolls her notes on election polls. Sarah Haynes, the bubbly mediator in pastel pink, bounces with energy. Alyssa Fair-Griffin, the conservative firebrand in tailored navy, sips her latte thoughtfully. And there she is, Joy Behar, the queen of quips at 83, her red lipstick popped against a bold blouse, eyes twinkling with that mix of mischief and menace that's kept her a tabloid terror for decades. The opener dives into the week's wild fury, Taylor Swift's latest endorsement sparking conservative backlash, with Joy leading the charge. "Oh please, if Taylor's voting blue, count me in. These MAGA maniacs couldn't handle a cat video without crying foul." Laughter erupts, Whoopi pounding the table, Sunny citing voter stats, Alyssa countering with free speech for all, Joy even if it's a bad choice. Add the panel's perfect storm of synergy, drawing cheers and a few polite boos from the bleachers. But the real sizzle, the guest slot, teased in promos as comedy royalty returns, none other than Rowan Atkinson, the reclusive British genius behind Mr. Bean and Blackadder, making his first U.S. talk show appearance in over a decade to plug his memoir Silent Wit, A Life in Laughs, a wry collection of anecdotes from his slapstick days to his vocal disdain for modern woke comedy. Rowan's entrance is pure theater. He shuffles on in a tweed vest and boatie, channeling a bit of his Bean awkwardness with an exaggerated trip over the rug that has the crowd howling before he even sits. "Rowan, you sneaky sod, we thought you'd gone full hermit," Joy teases, pulling him into a hug that's half affection, half ambush, her perfume clashing with his subtle cologne like oil and water. Whoopi beams, "Welcome, Mr. Beanisville, what's the book really about? No more bins and tights?" Rowan settles into the guest armchair, his face a mask of polite bemusement, those expressive brows arching like question marks as he launches into a tale about a Blackadder blooper where he accidentally set Hugh Laurie's wig ablaze. "It was less mind the gap and more mind the flame," he deadpans in that velvety Oxbridge drawl, eliciting guffaws from Sarah, who clutches her side. Hugh must have been fuming, a pun intended. The vibe's electric, the interview cruising on charm. Sunny probes his influences from Monty Python, Alyssa asks about Hollywood's shift to safer scripts, and Joy, ever the provocateur, steers toward the timely Rowan's recent ex-posts railing against cancel culture's comedy chokehold, where he lamented how PC police have been British humor. "Rowan, darling, your spot and not these snowflakes melt faster than ice cream in July. Remember when we could laugh at ourselves without a lawsuit?" Joy crows, the audience nodding along as Whoopi chimes in with a story from her stand-up days dodging hecklers. Rowan nods graciously, sipping water from a mug emblazoned with "Been there, done that," a gift from the producer. His response measured, indeed. Joy. Satire thrives on the sharp edge. Blunt it, and you've lost the laugh. For 5 blissful minutes, it's gold. Clips from his new Netflix special roll, fans squeal at a surprise Bean mime of Whoopi's eyebrow raise, and social media stirs with #Rowan on View trending, gifs of his deadpan stare already viral. But Joy, sensing ratings nectar, pivots personal. "Now, Rowan, in your book, you shade American hosts who bully for buzz. If that's not us, is it? We love a good roast." Her laugh's a cackle, but there's a glint in her eye, that Behar bite honed from decades of View dust-ups. Rowan's pause is pregnant, his fingers drumming the armrest like a Morse code sows, before he quips softly, "Perish the thought, though one might argue the bully's badge is worn by those who prod the private." The table tenses. Sunny's eyes widen, Sarah shifts uncomfortably, Alyssa whispers "Ooh, shade." As Joy's smile tightens, her Brooklyn brass flaring, "Prod? Honey, this is the Vayu Why We Prod because we care. Spill, who's the real villain in your comedy crusade? The audience murmurs, sensing the shift from sparkle to spark, cameras capturing every micro-expression as producers in the booth exchange hold steady glances. Rowan's next line, delivered with Blackadder precision, lands like a custard pie to the face. Villain? Perhaps the veteran voices who equate volume with verity, mistaking monologue for mastery. Gasps Ripley. Did Mr. Bin just bin Joy? She leans in, voice rising like a sitcom laugh track gone rogue. Monologue. I've got Emmys stacked higher than your bin cans. Rowan, don't come at me with Oxford airs. The banter teeters. Whippy's easy. Ladies and genta velvet trope too late. As Rowan's polite facade fractures, his memoir propped open like a shield. Little do they know, this prod prelude to pandemonium, the quiet comic's quiet storm brewing into a tempest that'll topple talk show tropes and leave the hot topics table hotter than Hades. As the segment clock ticks, Joy doubles down with a zinger about stuffy Brits bottling up till they burst, and Rowan's retort a better bottled than Bellotta hangs heavy. The crowd split between chuckles and cringes. Fade to the fray, where wit wars with wrath, setting the stage for the explosion that'll eject an icon and etch eternity in embarrassment. Back from the break with the Views jingle jangling like a jester's bells. The set simmers as Joy Behar's jab at bottled Brits lingers like a bad aftertaste. The audience on edge, whispering bets on whether Rowan's reticence will rupture or retreat. Whippy, the sage referee in her caftan command center, tries triage. All right, Rowan, let's lighten up. Tell us about that time you pranked the Queen. Books got the deeds. Sunny nods vigorously, her legal lens seeking levity, while Sarah flashes her megawatt smile. Yeah, spill the tea or the beans. But Joy, undeterred, her red nails tapping like a countdown, circles back with a shark's grin. No dodging. Rowan, you called out hosts who harass for headlines in Chapter 12. Sounds personal. Care to clarify, or is it just sour grapes from your silent era? The crowd hushes, phones slyly raised for the inevitable clip. As Rowan's posture stiffens, his body askew like a noose tightening, he sets his water down with deliberate calm. Voice of velvet thunder, clarify. Madam, harassment hides behind honest hats, but when it veers to venom, voila, the victim's the villain. Your show's sparkle often singes. A waff at the table inhales sharply, Alyssa's eyes popping like plot twists, Sarah murmuring he's not wrong. Under her breath, Joy's laugh booms, but it's brittle, her chair creaking as she leans forward. Venom? Sweetie, I've roasted roasts hotter than you'll Trump, De Niro, half of Hollywood. If you can't take the heat, stay out of the kitchen. Or the kilt. The audience titters uneasily, a front row fan calling get her, Joy. While another hisses let Rowan roast back, Whippy interjects with her basso profundo, Joy, ease the throttle. Rowan's here to laugh, not lacerate. But the fuse is frayed, Rowan's brows knitting into a storm cloud worthy of Edmund Blackadder. Kitchen? This isn't cuisine, it's crucifixion, a public pillory for private peccadillos. I've endured enough eggs on face without added yolks from Yankee yappers. The word yappers lands like a slapstick slip, Joy's cheeks flushing fushy as she bolts upright, earrings swinging like pendulums of pending peril. Yappers. I've built an empire on eloquence while you mumble through mimes. Don't patronize me with your posh puzzle say it straight. You think we're bullies. The exchange erupts into a verbal vaudeville gone vicious, barbs bouncing like beach balls in a brawl. Sunny tries stats on talk show tough love, Alyssa counters with boundaries. Joy guests aren't pi a tilde plus minus autos. Sarah's pleas dissolve into giggles gulps. Whippy's gavel absent as she hisses off McRappit, producers. Rowan's gesturing now, memoir thumping the table like a gavel of grievances. Straight? Very well, your love is laced with libel, turning tales into trials. I've crafted comedy from chaos, not chaos from critique. Joy matches volley for venom, her sopranos spiking. Libel? Try legend. I've outlasted outfits tougher than your tights. Step off the silent high horse if you can't handle a hove to the heart. The studio's a sauna, lights blazing on beads of sweat, audience divided in aurora, half hollering Joy, Joy. Like a rally cry, the other chanting Rowan rules. as stagehands slink closer, walkie-talkies whispering warnings, social scrolls supernova, #Atkinson vs Behar blasts to top trends, TikTok stitching Rowan's squint with Ben Hawks, Instagram Reels remixing Joy's cackle over explosion SFX, the overruns ominous at 2 minutes past Q3 as words weaponize wildly, Rowan accuses endless egos eclipsing empathy, Joy retorts reclusive relics resisting reality, Whoopi's interventions fade to feudal fans, Sunny's notes crumbled, Alyssa's conservative cool cracking with a whispered "this is gold." Or grenade, Sarah Liv tweets hotter than Hades, #view clash, her thumbs flying amid the frenzy, Rowan's McPack hums hot, capturing every clipped consonant, as Joy jabs a finger, empathy, you wrote the book on hiding literally, come out swinging or crawl back to Beanland. He rises slowly, chair scraping like a siren's wail, face a fortress of forbearance fracturing. Hiding? Better hidden than harangued. This view is veiled viciousness. A good day. But Joy is not yielding, her voice vaulting. Good day, run away. Rowan approves my point. All bark, no bite from the bean. The guards at discreet ABC sentinels in black hover in the wings. Producers bellowing cut now. Into headsets, execs in the booth apoplectic. Ratings rocket or recall disaster. Cameras cling cruelly, every grimace gilded in HD. The crowd a cauldron of cheers and jeers. Rowan's hand hovers on his exit, Joy's glare glacial, hurtling toward the hurricane that'll hurl him hence and haunt headlines. This isn't interview anymore, it's inquisition, intellects igniting in an inferno of indignation. The quiet quipsters quaking, quietude quashed by the Queen's quarrelsome quake. As the tempest teeters, Whoopi whispers fade to black, but fades thickly. The feed forges on, forging folklore from furry cataclysma. The climax crashes like a custard catastrophe as Joy Behar's bark no bite bar breaches the barricade, propelling Rowan Atkinson's penned-up poise into a powder keg paroxysm that pulverizes the view's veneer of vivacity. Bite, madam, I've bitten back at bigger beasts than this bluster. Brigandia security, if you please, I've no more minutes for this mummery. Rowan thunders, his timbre transforming from timid tenor to tempestuous tenor, the memoir slamming shut like a guillotine as he surges to his feet, Bodhi bowed in battle. The audience annihilates an anarchy of fervent fans of the funny man fomenting Rowan, stay strong. In fervent fervor, Joy's acolytes assailing with sit down, stiff shrieks, a balcony belter bellowing Ben's got balls. To bewildered whoops and wails, Whoopi's wisdom wanes, her shades slipping as she stammers whoa. Folks a deep breaths. Sunny's spectacles steam, Sarah's smile shatters into shock sobs of laughter, Alyssa's analysis abandoned for a frantic "this is unscripted Armageddon." Jin to wait, Joy jumps up, blouse billowing like a battle flag, mummery, this is mastery, you mime merchant to run if you can't rumble. Her retort ricochets, but Rowan's resolve rigidifies, his frame framed in the frame like a fleeing figure from farce. Rumble, I've rumbled with royalty and relished restraint your rumble's mere racket. A farewell, fray. The guards gallop in, two towering toms and tailored tees, one clasping Rowan's elbow with earnest apology. Mr. Atkinson, sir, this way to the green room. A complimentary cab, perhaps? The other interposes between Joy's jabbing jab, her lipstick a war paint smear as she sneers. Cab? Crawl back to Blighty. Ben boy, we don't do delicate daisies here. The throng thunders, a tidal wave of turmoil, smartphones surging skyward to seize the spectacle for Snapchat sagas and X-explosions, where #Rowan storms view vaults viral velocity. Rowan halts at the threshold, turning with tragic timing, one last lance loosed. Delicate, dignity's no Dacia, it's the daft who demand it die for drama. Read between the lines. Ladies' laughter's lost when lords lord over levity, then poof, he's propelled into the penumbra, door thudding like a denouement drum, leaving the ladies in a lurch of limp limelight. Joy flops back, fan fluttering futilely, a flicker of fluster flashing. Well, that was British. Next topic, Whoopi whoops weekly, cut to commercialist at the ad arrow, a lifeline as the booth buries in bedlam, lawyers lunging for lines. Publicists prepping passionate pivot piffle. Viewers voraciously devour the da tilde copyrightment, YouTube yanks Rushes remixed with Ben Bumbles and Behar blasts, racking replays rivaling Royal Reckoning's TikTok teams with storm-off symphony scores. Instagram ignites with iconic exit icons. ABC's Avenues avalanche and adoration from Atkinson adherents. Finally, a guest with guts. Outrage from View vassals. Boycott bin. Manifestos manifesting for his reprisal. Rowan's reserves rocket to memoir metrics multiply 600%. Netflix negotiating revenge of the quiet specials. His reticent rep reborn as Rebel Roar. Joy, she jousts the jinx on the jump back, owning with oomph. Darlings, Live TV's a tango sometimes toes get dropped. Rowan's a riot we razzed over realness. Apollo's if it take it a now. Sunny's supper secrets. The gallery galvanizes in glee groans. The melee a mirror of their moxie moments. Murmurs meander in the margins. Was it the book's buried broadside at Brassy Broad's broadcasting bias that baited the bear? Or Joy's pre-tape tease about his hermit habits? Verities veiled in Vanity Fair vapors, but the verdict's vivid. Volatility's the vein of vivid TV. One volley from valor to vitriol. As applause abates, whippy wings off air. That'll be the clip of the century. Rowan's ride to the Ritz rings with riposte reflections and not my finest frolic, but follies furtively while Joy jets a jest text. Sorry, not sorry you're still swellity in Toronto. His hoot of a Ripley a monocle emoji and perhaps, post-potion a portends patching over the pandemonium. The rumpus, riches for retrospective essay podcasts pondering politeness versus punch. Galas garnished with guarded grins but presently, its pantheon prows, a punchy parable of poise punctured by provocation. Panels everywhere pad protocols, producers prime for peril, privy that one stormed stage can supernova series. Tune tomorrow, try be tranquil or turbulent, with the View, it's vivaciously vexing, a vortex of verve veiled in velvet, fade to fanfare, but the furor, fantastically forever.